Hello, 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 everybody. It is Matt, and it is Fiendish Friday, and I am back at you with yet another review. Before I roll on to any of that, I want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing your beautiful faces when you are here. I know I'm here an awful lot, but I have an awful lot on my plate to review. And one last little tidbit of information, check out the description box. I give you a bigger bite of every single movie of every single day. I give you your brief synopsis, which I didn't write today's synopsis. I just snatched it off IMDb because I thought that was the best way to describe it. I got you your starring cast, your director, your runtime of the cut I am watching, a link for a trailer, a link for where you can watch this bad boy for free, and if you decide you can help support Matt's Movie Mania and toss me a couple of bucks and buy me a cup of coffee or a movie or two to review. Now, with all that said in mind and all that out of the way, let's go on to the film of the day. And today's is a very interesting one, very controversial, has lots of topics that are very new to Matt's Movie Mania, because I don't normally cover movies of this type. But it is a breath of fresh air to actually delve into a different genre and do something a little bit different. I normally cover a lot of extreme gore and horror and thrillers, giallos, things of that nature. But today I am covering a drama comedy, a dramedy. And it is the 2022 film known as Love in Quarantine. And that's N, the letter N, not in quarantine, because there is another film called Love in Quarantine. But this one's called Love in Quarantine. It is a very interesting film. It starts out with the beginning of the quarantine cycle. A very interesting couple are very loving at the very beginning, very respectful towards each other, have nothing but care and kindness towards each other. And as things go along, they are becoming more irrational. The cabin fever is definitely setting in, because they are definitely becoming very hostile towards each other. There's accidents that happen, like at one point the wife accidentally cuts her hand with a knife. She trips and falls over the husband, who is spying on her at the moment, just to let you know, because he is worried that she is doing other things behind his back in the house that they both are quarantined in. How that is possible, I don't know. But anyway, she is able to have, they never confirm it, but she has a friend over. You hear lots of laughing and walking around and commotion and stuff going on inside the room. But it's never confirmed. It's never shown on screen. You just see shadows underneath the door frame moving around, and that's it. So it could all be inside of our character Ben's head. Now Caroline is definitely not a weak-willed woman. She has got a lot of moxie, a lot of pushback towards her character. She doesn't take Ben's shit for anything. Because he definitely goes clear off the deep end, to the point that he thinks that she is putting rat poison in his food. He thinks that she is sleeping around, and he really has grown uncomfortable with her, and they just have in general grown apart as a couple. It is very kind of sad in that aspect. At one point, she does eventually have enough, and she leaves for the bungalow, as it is called. she goes and she stays there, and at one point she has a friend come and tell her about what it's like. And by the way, this is a mixed race couple, because racial factor does become into play into this very much, because it talks about Black Lives Matter movement along with other things along those lines. It is definitely a very deep and powerful movie when it comes to that aspect of it. I will give it that. It has a lot to say when it comes to the racial movement. Now, as far as anything else goes inside of this movie that I want to give away, I know that at one point that I want to talk about their relationship after they've moved out. They have both are speaking to people online. Turns out that they both are actually talking to each other, just in a by chance type situation. They are going to meet up, and a tragic thing happens, and a family member from Ben has passed away due to COVID. COVID is a hot button topic during this film. I'm guessing it was made during the epidemic, or at least after the epidemic happened. The pandemic, I mean. Either way, it's after the quarantine, I believe, is when this was filmed. If not, they did a good job masking the fact, no pun intended, masking the fact that it was filmed during it. Now, on to the three things that I like my movies to meet. Audio is very crisp, cool, and clean. There is never a moment where I misunderstand what is being said by our characters. There's no weird audio bumps in it. There's no static due to anything such as wind or any outside interference. It is very clean. It is very nice. It's always good to watch a movie when you can understand what the characters are saying. So I'm going to give it an A+ on that aspect. Now on to dialogue. Dialogue is my second favorite thing that I like movies to meet, and this one has some very interesting dialogue going on, from the racial aspects to the quarantine aspects to COVID-19 to Caroline's parents being possibly racist, or at least the fact that her lineage had slave owners in it. It gets very, very, very deep and dark on that aspect. So I'm going to give it an A+ on the dialogue. It is very, very, very nice. Flows very smooth. It's obviously very hip, fresh dialogue. They're talking how people would talk nowadays. Especially even in the age, because they are middle-aged people. Even at their age, I feel like they are speaking in a fashion that they normally would. So I'm going to give it an A+ there. Now on to editing. Editing is where I think it could have used a little bit of cutting here and there. A few scenes kind of drag on a little bit too long. The movie runs at 2 hours and 5 minutes. A little bit longer than I like my movies to meet. I like that 90-minute marker. But other than that, I think it does a very good job keeping a forward momentum. It doesn't lose your interest in it. It is constantly going towards you can see it going towards the finish line, and it is not, it doesn't have weird editing errors that would cause you to lose that momentum. It doesn't have any continuity errors due to editing. I feel like it is edited very fluidly and done in a very good fashion. I just wished it was a little bit shorter. That's my only beef that I have with this entire movie. Other than that, I think it's really a very good, very well made film. Excuse me. And I feel like it is well worth checking out for excuse me again. Not everybody in my of my friends would like this, but I do know ones that enjoy a good drama would enjoy this, because this definitely has a lot of real world events going on. I think people that like that kind of film would definitely enjoy this. Otherwise, if you're here for a horror movie, this is not a horror movie. It is real world events type things. All right, and then on to my final score of 1 through 5. I'm going to give this thing a 3.5 out of 5. It's above average. It could have been better. It always can be worse. It just definitely wasn't my sort of film that I normally would seek out. I'm happy that I watched it though. It definitely was very interesting, and it's been a very fun topic to review. A little harder than my normal affair, but I enjoyed it. Alright guys, I love your faces. I'll be back at you with another review on Sunday. I believe I'll be here. And then 2 days after that, so Tuesday, and then so on and so on. But anyways, I have a lot of stuff still left to review for the month. I hope all of you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a fantastic weekend. I love your faces, and as always, peace.